Welcome, dear students. So in today's class for the subject Traffic Engineering and Management, we are going to discuss another topic from Module 4, and today we'll be discussing the design criteria for at-grade intersections and grade-separated intersections. So coming to the first one, before that, we know that an intersection is a point on a highway where two or more roads cross or join, and at the intersection there will be the turning and crossing of traffic, and these traffic movements has to be handled in different ways, again depending on the type of the intersection as well as the design. And the operating efficiency of any highway and also the safety depends upon the number and the types of intersections, and also the efficiency of the design of these intersections. And generally the intersection problems are unavoidable, but in some cases, as in the case of a expressway or a freeway system, it is such problems are usually solved by providing a grade separated intersection and also by controlled access. Now the efficiency, the safety, the speed, cost of operation and the capacity of the road systems depends upon the planning and the design of the intersections. So we'll be discussing what are the various design criteria for at-grade intersections and grade-separated intersections. Firstly, the factors to be considered in the design of intersections at grade. Now, the major traffic factors that has to be considered while we design intersection at grade, there are two main factors. Firstly, the speed, and then we have the maneuver area. So, what is speed or relative speed? So, relative speed is nothing but the it is very important factor, and it is nothing but the vector difference in the velocities of two vehicles in the same flow, and it is also the sum of the speeds of the approaching vehicles from opposite direction. So the difference between the velocity of two vehicles in the same flow, and it is the sum of the speeds of approaching vehicles from opposite direction. So we can say it is the speed of convergence of vehicles on separate traffic flows as they approach a point of potential collision. So that is what we call as the relative speed. And the relative speed is dependent on the absolute speeds of the intersecting vehicles and also the angle between them. And whenever the angle of merging is very small, then we can say that the relative speed also will be low. And if there is a collision between two vehicles at a small angle, say at about the same speed on a low relative speed, this impact would be very less and less severe. It will not be very severe, it will be very less severe than that when the vehicle will collide at very high relative speed. Now coming to the next important factor, that is a maneuver area. It is nothing but the area of intersection at grade where the merging as well as the diverging, the crossing, all this takes place, and there is a potential collision, and also those like the channels of approach and departure where the maneuver is influenced. So this is also another important point which has, or factor which has to be considered while we design an intersection at grade. So it is the point where the possible path of two vehicles will intersect. We also call it as a conflict point, and the area containing all possible conflict points, we call it as the conflict area. So conflict area is usually the area where two or more roads meet, and there will be so many points, we call it as the conflict points in the conflict area. So whenever we design the intersection at grade, we have to also see that we have to minimize the total conflict area and also the major conflict, especially the major conflict points has to be minimized. So the other factors that has to be considered in the design of at grade intersection are listed here, like the alignment and the vertical profile, the visibility at intersections, then the radii of curves, width of the carriageway in junctions, the speed change lanes, the right turn lanes, and the channelization. So alignment and vertical profile. So here as you see, whenever like I told you about the conflict area, and there are so many hazards as well as conflicts that are involved at the intersection point. So the alignment and the vertical profile of the intersecting road should permit the drivers to safely discern this particular danger and to maneuver easily. So that is how the alignment should be. So it should be in such a way that the hazards are eliminated. And also to eliminate this hazard, it requires that the alignment should be straight as possible, and also the gradient should be as low as possible. So, and it is also desirable that the intersection roads meet at say nearly at right angles. So this is the consideration, that is the first design criteria, that is the alignment and the vertical profile. In order to reduce the conflicts or the hazards involved, the alignment should be in such a way that it should be either straight or the gradient should be as low as possible, and mostly the road should meet at an angle which is nearly at right angle. So that is the first consideration to be taken. Then the visibility at intersections. So visibility means the how safely it is visible, that is the safety of traffic can be ensured only if the visibility is full. There should be no obstructions. Okay, so in this case the safety of the traffic can be ensured only if the visibility is clear or unimpeded along both the roads, that is the roads that cross each other. It should be in such a way that it should not be impeded along both these roads. And as you see here, this is called as a visibility triangle. So this triangle that is shown in this way, we call it as a visibility triangle. So if at all there is any obstruction, it should be clear of the minimum visibility triangle and for a height of 1.2 meters above the roadway. So I think you will be discussing, you would have studied all this in your transportation engineering subject. So here you can see that any obstruction should be clear of the minimum visibility triangle for a height of 1.2 meters above the roadway. Only then you can see here there is a major road and then the minor road, and that sight line is also shown here. So there is an obstruction which should be clear of the minimum visibility triangle. So that is how we have to consider the visibility of intersection while designing an intersection at grade. Now coming to the radii of curves. So here the design of the intersection curve again depends upon the speed of the vehicle, and the radii are selected in such a way so as to control the speed and also to ensure that the operation of vehicles is very safe. And normally the approach to the design of curves falls under one of the following category, that is the design of intersection curves for a minimum speed and sharpest turn, and then also the design of curves to permit different operating speed. So these are the two criteria design that we consider, two category where the approach of the design of curves will fall. So that is also to be considered. Then coming to the next one, that is the width of the carriageway in junctions. Here again the width of the carriageway will depend upon the width of the lane, that is the traffic lane, and also how many lanes are there. So that is also one factor on which the width of the carriageway, especially at junctions, will depend. And the width of a traffic lane depends upon the width of the vehicle as well, and also the clearance. So that also has to be considered while designing a intersection at grade. Now another factor is the speed change lanes. So whenever a driver enters or leaves the intersection or a junction, it has to they have to necessarily change the speed. Either they have to slow down or they have to change the normal speed cannot continue even at the intersection. They have to change the speed, and so due to the deceleration or it can be even acceleration, this is accomplished on the highway that is traveled by the vehicle, and the traffic will be disrupted. And also we can see that sometimes the hazard there may be some hazards also. So while acceleration or deceleration of the vehicle is to be accomplished, it has to be in such a way that there should be a reduction in the speed or a change in the speed so that it can be safe. And to avoid this sudden change in the speed, the lanes will be normally provided on superior facilities, especially when we say in the case of expressways and also in some of the very important highways. So there should be speed change lanes so as to reduce the hazard. Then coming to the right turn lanes. So whenever a vehicle is traveling along a highway, there should be lanes for right turn traffic, which it has to be enabled, which will allow the vehicle to slow down to the necessary turning speed without impeding the flow through the traffic. And so this is also very important. And then coming to the channelization, again this is nothing but the direction of the traffic at the intersection will be channelized or directed to a definite path by means of various markings on the road, or maybe even signals or something like that. So we have already discussed channelization while we studied grade separated intersections, rotary intersections, etc. So here what happens is the the traffic flow will be directed to a definite path. So that is, there will be some particular control wherein there will be some markings on the road or signboards which will actually channelize the vehicles. So these are the factors to be considered while we design a intersection at grade. So I hope it is clear. And also other requirements of at grade intersection design are the area of the conflict, like I told you, just to summarize, the area of the conflict should be minimum. Then the relative speed and the angle of approach should be comparatively small. And then the sudden change of the path has to be avoided. And also the geometric features like the radius, the width of the pavement, etc. should be adequately provided. Then proper signs should be provided, that is in channelization. Then separate provision should be made for the safe passage of pedestrians as well as cyclists. And then of course adequate visibility should be available for vehicles that are approaching an intersection. Now coming to the next one, that is grade separated intersections. Here also similarly, somewhat it is similar to the criteria as we discussed earlier. Again here design speed, it is very important. And then of course the radii of the curves on ramps. So in the case of grade separated intersections, the levels of the two roads that meet will be at different grades. So they will be connected by what we call it as a ramp. So here we have to consider the radii of the curves on the ramp as well as the side distance on the ramp. So this is also very important while we design a grade separated intersections. And of course the gradient on the ramp. So it should be, the gradient has to be limited to 6% in the area which are subjected to say ice or snow, and where there is heavy traffic flow or like the truck traffic, etc., the gradient should be limited to say 4%. So unlike in the case of a intersection at grade, in this case the radii of the ramp as well as the side distance on the ramp has to be considered. So, and also again the width of the ramp. The ramp should be, it should preferably carry one-way traffic only, because it will be more safer. And also the width of the pavement should be selected appropriately for various radii. And then the capacity, the practical capacity through the lane, it can be taken as 1500 PCU, passenger car units per hour per lane. And for ramps, it is a capacity has to be say 1200 passenger car units per hour per lane, which will be the appropriate one. So these are the various design criteria. So we'll be discussing the same for rotary intersection in the next class. So thank you.